Hi balloon family, today I want to share with you a beautiful and fun twist on a balloon butterfly. Here is one I've made with 3 balloons, and that includes 2 hearts and one 160. You can do the same design, however, with 5-inch rounds and a 260. And why not go big or go home? And you can do it with this giant one made with 2 12-inch rounds and a 260. Let's get into how you can make one of the butterfly because gosh darn it, it's super duper cute and you can use the same technique to create those other styles as well. Stay tuned to the end of the video where I have an exciting announcement that I can't wait to share with you. Let's go. I'll include information in the description box below over what hearts I'm using. And I'm just doing 2 pumps with my inflator, and it's putting in a bit of air on the in and the out. But we are aiming for a balloon with undefined lobes right now. And as I tie off the balloon, first I'm doing a loose knot. So a loose knot is where I've just pulled that latex of the neck through. But now I'm going to roll this knot towards the neck end. Like so. So as you're rolling, that is tightening that knot right up, and just be cautious. You don't want to be too rough because if you are, you might get a friction tear. You may need to practice that technique. But what's super duper important here is having that little bit of uninflated neck area because we're going to use that to our advantage. Again, nice loose knot. I'm just pulling that latex through, grabbing that knot, rolling it towards that neck of the balloon. So get a beautiful bit of space right there. Now, typically when I make this, I keep the balloon nice and close to my body because I find that gives me more control over what I'm doing. But of course, to help you see what I'm doing, I'm going to hold it out in front. So I am going to be squishing with my right hand here, air towards the nozzle end. And see where we start going from the curve at the top. Just give it a bit of a squish and a twist. And now we're going to pinch twist this part of our balloon. To help us achieve this as cleanly as possible, we're going to hold this part of the balloon so the knot and the twist are almost parallel to each other. And typically I like to grab the knot and make sure that's what I'm keeping out of the twist, just to help give it a bit of extra security to not come undone. If you can't, aim to get it as close as possible as you can. See, you might find it slips out of your fingers like it did to me here. But as I'm twisting, I'm being super mindful, if I can, to keep that knot out of the twist. Oh, and hopefully you should have something that looks a bit like this. All right, we're going to repeat it for this one. Stick it under my arm. So we have to, gotta look a little bit like this. So next, I'm going to stack these up one on top of the other, and I'm going to twist them together. As I am, I'm going to be pulling my hands apart just a bit to help encourage these 2 joints here to get in nice and close to each other. And hopefully you have something that looks like this. At first you might find as you're trying to twist that one of those ends becomes a bit loose and it is reverting back to just a balloon with a twist in it. But sometimes if one has slipped out by now, I'll just take the neck of it and try and wrap it in there as much as I can to try and secure it to get that shape a bit like the kidney beans that you see here. So I encourage you to keep practicing, see how you go at improving. All right, so I'm going to grab my 160. I am no fan of 160s and hand pumps. Hats off to those who do it. Always letting just a little bit of air out to burp the balloon and release some of that pressure. I'm starting off with a double pinch twist, and I'm going to make 2 bubbles about just slightly longer than they are wide, stacking one on top of the other, and grabbing my knot, keeping it out of my twist. feeding that knot through the middle. Now I'm going to pull these apart and twist in opposite directions, so we can achieve a double pinch twist that looks something like this. Now, as we prepare to create the balloon, we're going to be starting at the top here, positioning our 2 pinch twists just above the space that we have here. And as we go, we're going to be squishing in that balloon to give it a bit more of a narrow shape, and we're going to squish it in between our pinch twists here at the bottom. See how nice and snug and connected that's looking in there? That's brilliant if you can achieve that. So more bringing it into the design than just letting it rest on top of. And that all the way around, and I'm just squishing in a narrow part of the balloon to begin my twist. And I'm just doing a gentle rolling motion. Bringing it around the pinch twist a couple of times just for security. When I finish it, I typically like to leave the working part of the balloon in between the 2 bubbles at the top before I go ahead to remove that. Now, do your best here to not let the air out of the rest of this balloon, just to make life a little bit quicker and easier for us. When I come back to this, I'm going to tie a knot off in that and secure. But first, let's make these antennae. Twist off a nice small bubble at the end. Whoops! I didn't mean to let that go, but that's fine. We did an Elsa, all good. I just like to tie that off to help ensure the bubble stays where I want it to. Just going to use my electric pump to help me here. With a nice small bubble here. Just tying that nice and secure. If you like, you can go ahead to remove that excess. Sometimes what I like to do, just leave a bit of excess on the opposite end because it kind of looks like it's intentional that way. So it's looking pretty cute. You're just wanting to make sure you've got a head positioned in the front. The pinch twist in the bubble is more functional than anything. It's not necessarily part of the display, but it helps us to keep our antenna on top of our balloon design. Just going in and around and back. So that's a nice, sweet and petite looking butterfly, if I do say so myself. It's really cute, and can you believe it just took 3 balloons to make such a sweet little design? This one here using the 5-inch rounds and the 260s. You can really see how narrow I've made that 260 to come up in between our 2 little bubbles at the bottom of our balloon. And I like that a lot more. As I mentioned, it helps to bring it in and make it even more of a cohesive piece and not just sitting on top. Oh! And then what I really love about this one is just how easy it is to get your hands on any kind of 12-inch round, but also 260s, and you can end up with something beautiful like this. Imagine those hanging from the ceiling or somewhere special. So I hope you really enjoyed that design. You may have seen the butterflies before, but I hope this gives you an idea on a new twist, because what I really love is when you play around with different designs, particularly rounds, and bringing them in with 260s and 160s and hearts, you can come up with something really beautiful than if you just have the 260s within your kit. So earlier I mentioned there's some exciting news to share. I'm going to be teaching at Miss Donna's Twisted Retreat in May. So it's from the 27th to the 29th of May, and I'm super excited to be teaching there. We're going to be having Dan from America, Pip from New Zealand, Ray Meiki, that will be myself, and of course the amazing Miss Donna sharing some beautiful, wonderful designs with you all. If you can make it, that will be fantastic. I am going to share some details below, but I really hope you can make it. I am super excited to go there, and if you are coming along, I'd love to meet you or see you there. It should be fantastic. It's absolutely my honor and pleasure to be invited to teach there by Miss Donna and Mr. Jason, so thank you so much for inviting me, and I can't wait. If you haven't already, why not give the video a big thumbs up? And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to join my balloon family by hitting that subscribe button below. My butterfly friends and I thank you for helping me to put a positive twist into your life, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.